the way trauma was posed, that question was posed to me, and it was for a course curriculum called Fostering Resilience, right? And I came up with my own sort of car accident that I had, which wasn't much. It was just sort of like it's a little more than a fender bender, but I related the emotion of how I felt after the accident with what I opened up with you about the trauma I had at church. Okay. The
Um,
emotion is the same. The pain's the same. We have so many different degrees of levels of pain, right? So the metaphor really is, in definition of trauma, is, well, I liken it to an accident. And say you're coming to an intersection and you had that accident in the past. And, over time, you can certainly avoid that intersection where you have that car accident. You can go around the left, you can go around to the right. You can completely go avoid it by, skipping out of town and just not going anywhere near that intersection. But because it's so hard to forget trauma and it's so challenging to forgive the
yeah.
person who inflicted trauma, right? It's just, we're human, we're real, right?
Yeah.
So, but after you work through the trauma and however long it takes, you can, there are moments though you're actually forced to go back to that intersection. You really are.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
just, for whatever the flooding on, the exits to that side of the north side of the street, the south side is blocked off for a parade or whatever, you're forced to go down that block. So
Yeah.
what I learned with skills and recovery and outpatient, my therapist, you name it, just I learned that when you approach the intersection, you got to cope ahead. And once you get there, as long as you can hold the steering wheel firmly, not too hard, I actually learned some skills that, honestly, while you're driving, there's some coping skills that if you're trying to relieve yourself of stress, anxiety, like grab the steering wheel, like tighten it up, right? Give yourself some pain, let go. Do it every
Yeah.
like every 5 seconds. Like, because now you're just thinking of just the steering wheel, right? You're trying to dislocate that racing mind of like that, whatever
Yeah.
that image is that's hurting you, and you're just having anxiety and stress. So that's kind of a coping skill out there for anyone who's listening, just when you're driving.
Hmm.
And in New Jersey, right, Jen? There are a
Yeah.
lot of road ragers out
Oh,
there,
yes.
right? You road rage.
Very true.
15 minutes, just try 15 minutes on the Garden State Parkway. Cut off. People just own the road. Go ahead,
Yeah.
own the road. I usually like, so let it. You got it. Knock yourself out. Go 80
Right.
down the left side. I'll stay in this lane going 65. Right. But you get stressed out driving somewhere, just grab the steering wheel, tighten it up. Right. They call that tip in DBT.
I
You
like
change up
that.
you sort of apply some pressure somewhere.
Yeah.
So when you come to the intersection of trauma, though, you can hold on to that steering wheel firmly and just calmly drive. Look both ways, maybe two, three times this time around. Accelerate through, right? Don't keep braking through the intersection. Accelerate calmly through the intersection and move on. You can move through
Yeah.
this. And of
Yes.
course, I learned that term of moving through and not just getting past things. You got to
Yeah.
move through it. So
Yeah.
that's my definition of trauma.
I love it because, it really, metaphors are so wonderful,
Huge.
when you can use them to, land on big ideas.